Hey guys, what's up? Chris here, and today we're making a quick video where we explain how we killed Savage Omega relatively fast in 4 players. You might have seen the video yesterday on the main channel, so we hope this helps those of you who are struggling because this monster is really tough. First, let's talk about the choice of weapons. So in our run, we used 2 dual blades, 1 gun lance and 1 hunting horn. The hunting horn is really important because it can buff the entire team with attack and defense songs, but the most important song is the Sonic Barrier, which is why we recommend to use the Guardian Arcveld hunting horn. The Sonic Barrier song reduces incoming damage even more. It works exactly like the Rocksteady mantle. It gives you hyper armor until you get hit 1 time by the monster and then the buff disappears. But because Ideo kept reapplying the song, it constantly renewed the buff and allowed us to play more aggressively while being more defensive. Also, Hunting Horn can deal KO damage, so we were able to KO him once during this run as well. Gluko and Deka used their dual blades, and to be honest, HC would have used them too, but he is more comfy with the gun lance, so he took the Guardian Arcveld gun lance, which is not a bad option either, because he can take the enmity from Savage Omega as well as take the power clashes to keep Savage from moving around too much. So basically, with gun lance, he can stay on the head all the time because he deals explosive damage, which is fixed damage. The thing is, the head only has an average hit zone for cutting damage, so it's better to attack it with gun lance, for example, than with dual blades. And then also, when the gun lance player attacks the head, he is more likely to be focused on or to be attacked by Omega. And so with all of the guard skills that he has and the hunting horn support, the gun lance player can block through most of the attacks really well. This way, the dual blades can actually hit the hind legs more safely and focus on dealing more damage. This is really important because we need to break the legs so that Omega drops the shield generator Slinger, but more on that later. So Deka and Gluko used the Artian dual blades, but you can definitely use the Legiacrus dual blades as well. They might even be better because Savage Omega is weak to thunder. In general, we feel like dual blades are a really good choice for this quest due to their mobility and high DPS. So let's talk about the most important skills. Here you can see the build that we used for Hunting Horn. Mind's Eye is not needed actually, but we didn't know that on day 1 because there was no info regarding the hit zones at the time. For the dual blades, a part breaker is really important. It benefits all the players who focus on breaking the legs. Latent power is also really beneficial because it is a very long fight, and so you get like 50% affinity from it for almost the entire fight. And it also gives stamina reduction, which is super good for dual blades. The rest of the skills, they're mostly standard DPS skills. Max Guard and Guard Up are super important for gun lance to be able to stay on the head and block most of the incoming attacks. And the rest are also standard gun lance skills. And for all of the players, defensive skills such as Divine Blessing, Binding Resistance, Fire Resistance, and Stun Resistance can help you also survive. Let's talk about the strategy. Phase 1 is very short, so we just focus on the head because if you create a wound and you break it, a shield will appear and that allows you to stay safer inside and deal more damage to make it go to the next area. At the beginning of Phase 2, Savage is scripted, so it will do the Mustard Bomb attack, and then it will usually do the Mega Laser. After these 2 attacks, you should use the Focus Strikes and break wounds on the head to receive shields that will guard you, and through those, you can deal more damage. During this phase, you can also use 2 boulders for free damage and openings. Once you deal enough damage, the fight will then proceed to Phase 3. From this phase onwards, Savage will start to use this Starboard Wave Cannon Search. That's the name of the attack. It will use it twice in a row. And this is one of the most dangerous attacks it has, so make sure to be on max HP and try to dodge or block. Then when you deal enough damage, Nerscylla will appear. This is a tough DPS check, so try not to die before this, because otherwise you'll be in camp and you will need every player available to deal damage, otherwise the Delta attack later will fry you all. So for this, Deka switched to a light bowgun actually to paralyze it at the beginning once, and then he switched back to dual blades. This para helps tremendously to control the spider, and Gluko switched from his thunder dual blades to fire dual blades, so he deals more damage on the spider. Try to use the Cactuars and Marlboro minions to deal extra damage and paralysis damage. We actually did not use them in this run because we didn't want to spend time luring Nerscylla into these traps during the speedrun scenario here because it would take more time. After the Delta attack, Savage will then be right under the 3rd boulder, so you can consistently use this boulder in this moment. And then we're already basically approaching the last phase, so it's very important to get the lag break as soon as possible. Because of that, Gluko and Deka are focusing a lot on the same lag. Phase 4 is definitely the hardest phase, so you have to be super careful. At the beginning, we continue going for the hind legs, and Deca switched also to light bowgun to be able to paralyze Omega one time. Keep in mind, during all of this, the gunland still stays on the head mostly, and the hunting horn buffs frequently. After the leg break, then, make sure to attack the antenna on its back, which has the highest hit zone of 75. After that, you can pick up the shield generator slinger on the ground, and you can use it ideally before any dangerous attacks are happening to create a shield. A few more tips that can help you to survive during phase 4 is to break enough wounds on the hind legs and on the arms, because after a certain amount you will get a longer topple, which you ideally want to have during this phase. You can recognize this topple by this subtitle that says severe lag damage incurred. And after that, you can also use a mount, which is another really great way to control the fight during phase 4. We tried to build up mount damage throughout the prior phases as well to start to get the mount more easily in this last phase. Sometimes it does this very dangerous attack we call retard mode, where it starts running around and spams AoE fire attacks 3 times. In our run, it actually died before it could use this attack, but if it happens, you just sheath the weapon, mount your sacred, and get out of there as fast as possible and try to survive. After this attack, there will be a wound on each of the 4 legs, but you can only break one of them and get an opening from there as well. And then it should die in theory if you played well. So keep in mind, this was our strategy for doing it 4 players, if you have 3 friends. Of course, you can to do this in solo and have the NPC hunters join you. It's definitely, from our experience, what we've seen, it's a lot easier to do it solo with NPC hunters, even though this scales the HP up to multiplayer HP. That's still easier than doing it completely solo with solo HP, which is lower HP but harder. What we can also recommend you, of course, is to eat for the insurance meal. So yeah, you can cart 3 times without failing the quest. You, of course, have to bring a lot of life powder and dust of life and just look out for your teammates. Just keep in mind, in general, like this here was our way of killing it fast on day 1. It's certainly not the only strategy that works. So, and I'm sure the community will figure out more nice strategies to deal with this in the coming weeks. So yeah, that is it from us. Hopefully this helps those of you who are struggling. If you are, don't feel bad at all, because this is one of the hardest fights in the series. But, I mean, if you're frustrated, you can always leave a bad Steam review. Or you can start a change.org campaign like this guy, this legend right here, when he failed on Elatrion. And guys, yeah, don't forget to subscribe, because this is the second channel actually. This is not TDS main channel. Maybe we can someday hit 100k subs on this as well. That would be super cool. Yeah, so we hope this helped you guys, and yeah, peace.